I've never imagined I will ever get involved in politics.
Oh, wow.
Before I ventured into politics or went to contest governor, I've never voted. I've never been involved with anybody in politics.
Ha.
I got involved in politics by a man called Professor A.B.C. Nwosu. Professor A.B.C. Nwosu contested to be the governor of my state in 1998. He actually won the primary.
Okay.
And they did not allow him, all this mago. So he wasn't the governor. So he now moved on to become political advisor to Obasanjo. And eventually become the Minister of Health as well. So it was by 1999, we had a new governor in Anambra State. But by December 2000, a group of people have seen that governor is not doing well. This was about 18 months after. So they had gone to Professor A.B.C. Nwosu to say, get ready for 2003. Because this man is not doing the right thing. Professor A.B.C. Nwosu then said to them, I will not do that in 2003. I will be 60 years old. Anambra State is a very difficult state. It requires a young man between the age of 40, 45, who had made a success of his life and is very strong in character that can be able to deal with Anambra State. And the people gave him like a request that he needs them to give them 3 names. I didn't know this. This is a story I was told after. So I was then in the bank, doing well. I was, of course, as you know, I was the youngest chairman of a bank ever in Nigeria.
Yes.
So at my young age, I was the director of 2-3 banks. So there was no reason for me
to get into politics.
To get involved in politics. I had an office in London, had an office in Nigeria. So every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I work in my office in London. Thursday, I work in my office in Nigeria. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And Sunday, I go back to London every week.
Wow.
Every week. I had no reason. I didn't even know where people vote. I don't even want politicians to come around my office.
Wow.
So I had a good life. So A.B.C. Nwosu then invited me for a dinner in January 2001 or so. So I went to Abuja. I was very happy he invited me. So I went to Abuja because he would give me account of some federal account. So I went to Abuja, which we had dinner, everything. He still supported the bank where I was serving with some accounts, which was very good. But while I was doing that, I was actually being interviewed for a job unknown to me.
Wow.
So ABC, we had a long conversation about politics, about what people do, about what is this, even suggested names of people who should contest, and I'll support them. So I finished doing that and I left. In April, that group went back to A.B.C. Nwosu and said, okay, we want the 3 names. And he said to them, you want the 3 names? Yes. 1, Peter Obi. 2, Peter Obi. 3. Shut down, finally. Shut down.
Love it.
So the 9 came to my office in Lagos. He told me they were coming. They came to my office in Lagos and told me about this, that they want me to come and contest the governor of Anambra State. I virtually knelt down and begged them not to come around me again.
Wow.
So they left my office in Apapa and went back. I never met them again. As a personally decided to find out why things are wrong. I go to every year, I must spend time in school. That's why when people see my CV, they're wondering, you've not worked in any organization, you've not done anything. So how come you're an alumnus of Cambridge, Oxford, a Kellogg Scholar? I've done 3 programs in Harvard, Columbia, INSEAD, IMD, London School of Economics. I've been everywhere. So that year I was in Kellogg Graduate School. I was doing a program for 4 months, 2001. It was from June till about end of August. It was June, July, August, and some part of September. I was doing a program, The dean and the dean of the school, Professor Donald Jacob, took us on a course called the World Economy. The World Economy.
The world economy.
In 90 days, he taught us. He never one day mentioned Africa.
Oh, wow.
Because he's taught a lot of people, that was his final year in that school. He started teaching in that school in 1957.
Wow.
And the final year was 2001. It was his final year. The day he ended with us. A day before his final year, the entire place was filled up. And I raised my hand. And I said, Dean Jacob, you've not mentioned about Africa. He said, do I want to know about Africa? I said, yes. I paid $40,000 for this job, for this course. And you've not talked about my continent. He said, the next day being his final day, he will tell me. The next day, he finished and looked at me and said, Peter, do you want to know about Africa? I said, yes. He said, there's nothing called African economy.
Hey!
Nobody plans with Africa. Have I ever seen African spec in car? There's the American spec, there's the Gulf spec, there's the Asian spec,
German.
there's European spec, but there's no African spec. Can you give me a 5-year, 10-year, 20 years plan of your country that I can work on? I'm sorry. And of course, because it was a classroom, I just said, I think there should be. I think so, because I always have about 5-year rule. I said, there should be. I'll get it for you. He said he would like to say it, that I should join him for lunch. So I joined him for lunch, and we finished eating lunch. If you're in Kellogg Graduate School or today College School of Management, on the banks of Kellogg School of Management, there's Lake Michigan. So you're on the lake, seaside, beautiful place. So we had lunch. After lunch, he said, let's take a walk by the lake. As we were walking, he asked me, do I have any of my country's currency? So I brought out, the highest denomination then was 100 naira. So I brought out 100 naira. He brought out $100. And he asked me a question. Which of these two currencies do you prefer? And I said the dollar. Because the dollar was then 100 naira to $1. So he said to me, you can keep the dollar. Because it was 10,000 naira. He said, keep it. I'll keep your currency. And we walked a little bit again. About a pole, he stopped and looked at me again. He said, I should bring out the dollar. I brought it out, and he asked me that question for the second time. And I answered exactly the same thing. And he said to me, let's sit down. Because there was a bench by the sea. Let's sit down and feel the sea. So we sat down and he held me. He said, young man, I've taught economics for 50-something years. The only reason you prefer another country's currency to your currency is what drives economy. Faith, the amount of faith you have in your country. Faith is driven by hope. There's no hope. So that's why. Otherwise, there's nothing. No country is perfect.
Yes.
It is that I have hope, and then it drives your faith in your country. Chinese people keep their money in Chinese yuan. They don't want the dollar.
Yes.
Malaysians in Malaysian ringgit. Singaporeans in Singaporean dollar. There was no euro then. Germans in German marks. Italians in their Italian lira. British people in pounds. And it went round and round. Because they have faith in their country. They don't want another country's currency. But you prefer another country's currency because you don't have faith. We've watched you in this course because it's an interactive course. And you've been very, very positive and everything. Can I ask you for a favor? And I said, yes, Dean Jacob. I went to visit him after when I was governor. He said to me, you have $1 million. I said, yes, of course. Do you have $5 million? I said, yes. Do you have $10 million? I said, yes. And I have. He said, at that stage, you don't need money again. Because you have enough money to live for the rest of your life if you don't want. Forget about it. Yes, you're not worth $1 billion.
Yes.
But I can tell you, whatever they do with $1 billion, you're turning because you're no longer going to look at the price of food.
Yes.
The basic things in life you have. The man with billion can come with private jet, and you come there paid in your plane and land there. You could stay in a suite in a hotel that is $3,000 a night. You stay in the same hotel for $200 a night and pay your bill, and everybody will have a good sleep. So at this stage, can I ask you for a favor again? I say yes. Say go back to your country and participate in building public wealth. Public wealth enriches everybody. Individual wealth impoverishes everybody.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm a lecturer. I'm just about to retire. I drive a Mercedes 500. And I can tell you from my own investments, I have about $4-5 million. And what about that? My wife is a lecturer, drives a lesson. My daughter is a lecturer. Do lecturers in your place live this type of life? Say, well, I don't really know how they live, but he said no, because there's no public wealth. I earn more money than governor of Illinois.
Wow.
That the state where he is. So I earn more money teaching here than he can make as the governor. Yes, it's governor, say he comes in here, but it's very important. So, thank you as you go back, but you belong to where what you're doing now is not where you belong. Based on our conversation, you should go to public life. That's where you belong, not where you are. Of course, I left him and we parted ways. I came back to Nigeria. I went to Onitsha to do something. We were looking for something on a weekend. I just came back. I think I came back on Friday. Went to Onitsha on Saturday. Before I went into public life, I don't fly. I go by road. Because now I'm a trader and I'm in a bank. So as I drive in any road, wherever I see concentration of people,
You sell your market.
I want to stop and know what they buy, what they eat, where they want bank, what is this that they want, because there must be why there's a concentration of people. And I know how many of my products that is in different stores because I represent multinational. I was the official representative of Heinz in Nigeria. So all Heinz products, everything. So I need to know how many of them is in different shops that is here, and then whether we can have a bank branch here based on this. And so I go by road. So I was driving through Benin to come to live on Onitsha. I saw a circle of people. It was what people they call Bakassi. Trying to kill 2 people they called criminals.
Yes.
Wow.
And within, this was as early as 7, 8 a.m. in the morning.
Yes.
Kids were going to school. They created a circle and brought out 2 young men in a car. Within 5 minutes, cut off their head.
Jesus.
So if you cut off somebody's head that he was alive, blood will be splashing.
Yes.
Everything. My driver could not drive again.
Wow.
I drove my car from Onitsha to Lagos. And I came back to Lagos and said to my wife, I'm going back to my Anambra state to go and contest election to be governor of the state. Before then, I've never voted. That's how, of course, you could imagine what has happened to my wife, my family. That's how I packed my suitcase. In December 2001, went back to my village where I don't have a house, I don't have anything except my mother built, we were about 6 boys, we were 7 actually, but we were 6 because of the Reverend Father removed, so he built 6 flats. So all of us had a 2-bedroom and a parlor. So I went back there. You know, went back there. There's, of course, that's where I still live to today. Yeah, that's
Why?
to today. You know, I enjoy it because one, I live like every other person. If you go there, there's no fan, there's no air conditioner. I live in it because that's how everybody lives, and it's interesting because see, so if I'm in Lagos, I can live differently, but there I have to live like them, and I'm happy with them, and they're happy with me. They might disagree with me in certain things, but that's it. So I went back there, and I lived there for 2 years, campaigning, not going to do anything, campaigning. Everybody say, this man is, he was with me. Everybody say, this man is mad. Where is he from? What is he trying to do? This thing they're saying he has no structure last year. No, it was then. They say, where is he? What is this man doing? This man is this man is just like a madman, going all over the place. I visited every single community, and I won that election decisively.
Yes.
I refused to pay anybody. I won it decisively. And I went, when they declared somebody else, I went to court. They say it's never happened before. So that's how I got involved in politics.
Wow.
I didn't, and again, when I started, which caused my impeachment, people didn't want to understand it. People didn't vote for me then. And they didn't vote for me last year. They entrusted their future in my hand. So I told them, I said, there's difference between they voted for me to come and do this. No. I preached that I'm going to change education. I said I'm going to change health. I said I'm going to show people, bring civility and order in governance. So that was what people voted for. And like I was telling people last year, I would rather prefer to die than fail if I had succeeded in being president of Nigeria. No way. God, you cannot allow me to come here because these people were not voting for me. They entrusted their future in me. And I would have stayed here. It was there today. What was there when I told somebody that I wouldn't have lived here for 1 year. I'll be here. No going in. We will see, we will make it to work. Because I know it could work. You know, and that was my situation in Anambra then. So when I started, people thought, I said, no. Wait. This is this people's money. It must be used for them. And we must cut this cost. So it became a quarrel. What was my reason for my impeachment? 3 items. Number 1, when I started, as you know, under my predecessor, they burnt the lodge belonging to Anambra State, where the governor, they burnt the governor's office, they burnt every other facility. But these two items were in the budget. To refurbish my office, the budget was 298 million, approved budget. But I did everything with 43,200,000. Everything.
Wow. To refurbish?
I did it, we did it by direct labor. And everybody, everything new. The only thing we didn't buy new was a table. I always tell people, because there was a table used by Dr. Mbaduniji, governor before my predecessor. I just saw it one corner of the place. And I said, listen, just bring it, clean it, it's table. Table is table. It doesn't make any difference. Table doesn't write or think for anybody. It's just a table to put something. Whether we buy a new one or we use this one, it's table. So and that's what I used for 8 years.
The budget was 200 million.
298.
Almost 300.
And I used in the lodge to furnish the lodge, refurbish the lodge, do everything was 486 million. I did everything with 81 million.
Maybe they wanted to buy foreign.
Yes, exactly. They had all this foreign furniture, blah, 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 this designer furniture. I said, listen, we're in Oka. There must be somebody who can do bed in Oka. Yeah, we do a good bed in Oka. Bed is bed. If you have a reason to sleep, you can sleep here. If you have reason to be awake, even if they put you in the best bed, you'll be awake.
Yes.
So I said to them, just don't worry. And we brought somebody who did the bed, and they said, leather furniture. I said, listen, what are you talking about, leather furniture? Leather furniture is a furniture covered by leather. Simple. It doesn't matter the leather. It doesn't matter the furniture. You cover it. It doesn't matter what leather. What is leather? Is leather furniture. How they cover it? This is this. And that was it. So it became a sort of quarrel. Number 3 items we saving money. Because from day one I said, whatever we get today from oil, whatever we get from anything, we must save for the future. Nobody finishes it. I, as a human being to date, have not finished everything I earn. Whatever I earn, the things I keep for future generation. Even when people tell me, even if my children don't listen to me, even if they quarrel with me, I must leave something for them. Must. Because I'm not meant to finish everything. And that's me. That's how I want to live. And I said to them, Anambra must save. We must save part of our money. And we did. We started immediately saving. And anybody can tell you, of course, you've read Ngozi Iweala's book.
Yes.
Fighting Corruption is Dangerous. Go and read page 61. He said there, when they wanted to start saving, they interviewed every governor was in the meeting. Governor Peter Obi insisted in saving, when every other person said no. You can go and look when we started Sovereign Wealth Fund. Go and read the minutes. I said we must save. In life, you must save for tomorrow. And I've done it as a person, and I must do it as a public. If I'm president today, Nigeria will be saving every year, and we'll show it. If we are going to borrow money, everybody will know why we're borrowing it and how we're going to pay it. You can't just get up in the morning and be running like if we're in motor park. We're not in motor park. Things has to be done in order.
You travel, from everything you're saying, even during last year's election, there was one time I saw that, I can't remember the country that you went to. You were talking about power in that country. You went to that country. Egypt. It was Egypt, talked about power. And it's quite obvious from the beginning, even before you go into politics, you like getting knowledge, because it's one important here. This knowledge where I go collect from here, I might use it here. This knowledge where I collect from here. Recently, you just came back from Rwanda, Athens, you understand, with meeting of, many opposition leaders, all of them. What was that meeting about?
Fenton. It's just a meeting of sharing issues of knowledge, issues of politics, how to have a better world, what are the lessons of leadership tomorrow? How are we going to do it better? Because we can't continue like this, Chinedu. We can't continue to breed poverty. That's not that's not leadership. We can't continue to breed poverty. You saw people saying 2 days ago was supposed to be our independence celebration. What are you going to celebrate in 64 years that our poverty level have increased, where we become the poverty capital of the world? Are you going to celebrate the fact that we have the highest number of out-of-school children? Are you going to celebrate that our health infrastructure have collapsed, where we become, we've overtaken India, that is 6 times our population, 7 times our population in infant mortality? Are you going to celebrate that we'll become one of the most insecure terrorized country of the world? So what are you going to celebrate? How do you get up in the morning? Somebody asked me on that day, Peter, I should be happy that we are still exist. I say yes. Say, Peter, let's go out and just eat and drink. And I said, no. I said, you can't be happy. Only an animal is happy where people are suffering. That same person can be. I'm not a happy person in Nigeria. I said, if you have money to give me, give it to me to do something. And he said, oh, I said, let me tell you, even while I was governor,
yes,
it was not possible. One of the companies that I serve as director came in my 50th birthday. Celebrated my 50th birthday towards the end of my governorship. And said they want to build a house for me in the village because I don't have a house in the village. So I said, okay, fine, that's very good. Can they give me the estimate? So then it came to about 125 million naira. So I showed them 3 schools in Anambra State today. One in Abatete, one in a club, one in my village. I said, don't have dormitory. So I want you to build these 3 dormitories. And they're there. Everybody knows about it. So build these 3 dormitories. You've built the house for me. Because these kids needs a place to stay and go to school. I don't need it. I'm already blessed and everything. One of the banks said they want to buy me, do party, do this. I said, no. I've never had a birthday party.
Wow.
Celebration.
Even when you were small.
No. Maybe it's secondary school or partially university. Since I left university, I can't remember celebrate. So I said to them, well, I can't remember. I'm not saying there might not be a place where, but I always tell people, it's not wrong that people celebrate.
Yes.
Don't get me. It suits them. It doesn't conflict with my interest. I was a businessman, even selling drinks. But nobody can tell you today, he attended Peter's wine carrying a wedding. You'll be surprised. But I'm married. Happily married.
Is it Abuja married that you did or Lagos marriage?
No. I did whatever everybody did in a small, quiet way with my family.
Were you hiding
There was
from
no wedding
somebody?
reception.
There was maybe 30, 40 people. A few of us.
Were you hiding? Were you dating somebody and one girl now said,
No.
if you get married, I will come there and scatter the wedding?
No, children. I've always, as a person, believed that money should not be wasted.
Hey.
On your special day.
Hey,
No.
entertaining people.
I have allergy for money being wrong. Yes, you must spend money for something that makes meaning. I'm not against people who do it. You know me, I attend everything. As long as it suits them and it doesn't conflict my interests, I'm not quarreling with it.
You also had a meeting with Kagame 2 weeks ago.
So that's what I do. Even all the celebration of life and everything.
Yes.
When I buried my mother, I was already a big man in a bank and everything. I put on an advert that said, no cow, no drink, no nothing. Just come and say you're sorry. If you're there, even if you call me on the phone, it's okay. But whatever we're going to use to bury her, we have people who needs it to go to school.
Jesus.
So we gave it to my sister, the Reverend sister, has a foundation. He's trained over 300-400 kids.
What?
That's what money is for. Money is not for Peter Obi to live to. What difference does it make today if I wear a shoe?
Black shoe.
What difference will it make? The purpose of shoes to protect the leg from being hot. That's the only purpose of shoe. Any other thing you're wearing, I'm not against those who want to. It doesn't make any difference whether my shoe costs today £500 or £50. It is me, it's my own feeling.
Hey.
It is how I feel. When I say people have not one watch, they say, oh, you're trying to pretend. Purpose of watch is to keep time. Now phone everywhere, there's time. So why would I be carrying another thing that will be inconveniencing me in my hand?
But I want to ask you, sir.
Yes.
If somebody buys you like a tuxedo, a Tom Ford expensive tuxedo,
let me tell you.
and give it to you.
I wouldn't. Let me tell you why. I've been in a places where, let me tell you what you do, shocking. I've had somebody who, because he was wearing an expensive shoe, we had to go through some beliefs, how it is here. It was raining and was everywhere was soaked. He had to wear off his shoe because he doesn't want it to damage. And then put his leg at risk. The purpose of the shoe, remember what I said, is to protect the leg from being hot. So he's now removed it because of the expensiveness. I've seen people say, oh, don't touch it, put it in, when we go for local flights or bus. Oh, don't touch my bag, don't spoil the bag, don't do this, I can't check it in. I don't have that room. Anything you want to do with the bag is okay because I know the cost. If you damage, I buy another one. So I don't have to start quarreling, oh, don't touch it, oh, don't do this. The things, everything comes with its time. I'm not against those who do it.
True.
No, me, I'm just saying that if they don't consult you,
No, I doesn't tell you. People have done that. Even bought watch, and I said to them, sell it. Give me a boss. Should I do this year? In my birthday this year, somebody wanted to buy me something, and I said, I have 6 schools. 6 nursing schools that need buses. You see me deliver to very soon.
Yes.
I say, they just want used bus. What you're going to buy me will cost me about 50 million naira. Please, you will buy me a used bus for this people. I don't need it. We're just going to pack things I don't need in my house because I'm not going to use it. People have different pairs of watch in their house. What is it doing in the house? It's not showing anybody time. You're just wasting. The simpler you are, just like when people build complicated house. That's why I said I will invite you to my house in Odyssey. My wife built a very lovely big house, but I have my own small corner where I live. Functional, effective, an asset.
Sorry, a corner in the house.
Yes. It's big. Women, she wants, I must have something that is worthwhile. Okay, fine. So he builds it. When she's there, I stay there.
In your corner?
But no.
When she's in the big house, the big house.
Okay. But when if it's me, I have my own 1 bedroom beside the house where I say that's where every of my thing is, and that's where I live because it's effective. I get up in the morning, make my bed, clean, do everything, drink my coffee, eat my food. The other one is complication.
No house help.
No. I said it before. I don't live without help. I do because it makes people lazy.
Hey,
what is in doing coffee? What is in doing this? It's a complication that people put in their life. And because I want to know where I kept my things, my file, my this, my that, and everything. So when I go now, everybody knows this is Peter's same. Everything is there, and then I have few things to do.
Anyway.
It's if I have more complicated thing. There was a time people were saying, "Oh, that I was talking about having 2 pairs of shoes." It wasn't me. It wasn't me who did it. It was a result of people coming to do one inspection or the other. Or such. And they said, "Oh, there was winning his shoe." And my wife told them, he said, "Listen, I've been with this man. This is him, because they go and pack shoes that are in the store, in the house. If I have 1, 2, 3 pairs of shoes, if it's spoil, I buy another one. So why go to the store and pack it in your house? Your house is not store now.